Hey everyone, it's Dr. Nic, Professor Mike, Divine Guidance Institute, Modern Day Mystery School. Yeah, today we're talking about signs. The signs are everywhere.
If the signs are everywhere, why don't I see them? Because I am not paying attention.
Yeah.
Signs are exciting. Signs are the world. You know, you see a sign for the grocery store, you see a sign for the theater, you see a sign for the gas station. It's really kind of the same thing. But they call them coincidence. Oh, it's just a coincidence. It's like saying there's just a dream. There is no such thing as just a coincidence. Just a quick background. You know, Carl Jung spent half his life, the psychologist, well known, trying to figure out signs, and he called them acausal. They're not connected. In other words, you know, I see a sign that's a coincidence, and I see it again, and I turn the radio on, and the DJ's saying, you know, I need to go back to school, and I was thinking of school, and there's a sign up there that says, hey, put some class, and you're, what? They're all signs, but they're all connected. It's not spiritual woo-woo. It's science and spirituality bridging. That's science, and that's cool. What is it? Quantum physics. Carl Jung was very, very smart, very quick, very fast, but he didn't really have access to quantum physics, and that came in as he was going out. And that really explains it, because at the quantum level, there's something called quantum entanglement, which means everything in the universe is connected. It's kind of like the butterfly effect. You know, the butterfly effect is if a butterfly flaps its wings in Saigon, there's a rainstorm in New York City. You know, the bottom line is they're connected. What? Yes, even a star system 100 light years away is affected by the butterfly effect. Quantum entanglement, all connected. That's why signs are fun. So when we have a coincidence or a synchronicity or a kismet or whatever you want to call it in your life, wake up and take a look at it, because number one, it's connected to you, and number two, it's a message. So it's not spiritual woo-woo. It's giving you a direct message. And that's fun. And it's something you're wondering about, or something that's going on in your life right now. Could be career, finance, you know, going back to whatever. And that is the connection. It's a coincidence, synchronicity, saying, hey, here's the answer to what you were wondering about. So pay attention. And I noticed for me, like when I started to wake up, boom, I started seeing the connections. I mean, the classic one was for me, dating Nicole, walking her back to her car. We just met, and I'm walking her back to her car, and her license plate has KRW, the initials of my ex-wife. Odds on that are a million. I went, what the hell? And it caught my attention, and I thought, here I'm in a new relationship, wondering where it's going to go, and there's the initials of my ex-wife, KRW, in her license plate. It was a message to me saying it's going to be a long-term relationship. We're going to hook up, get together, get married, go a different direction in my life. It was very, very important in terms of that sign was showing me, boom, boom. So I think Nicole today has some stories illustrating that point.
Wow. Hey, that was a great lead-in. Really, really good. And you know what? Listening, we need to start saying your first wife instead of your ex-wife, because ex-wife gives a negative connotation.
Yep.
And, you know, we've been married now 30 years. So it was hardly a sign of the ex-wife. It was really a sign of the first wife, although they're one and the same. So I just thought I'd say.
What about the 9th wife, the 10th wife? Okay, stop it. 30 years. What?
30 years.
Okay.
So, okay. So, hey, and even there's a chapter in our book, in our Trust Yourself book, called The Coincidence Connection. Yeah, the whole thing. So, you know, great lead in with the connection and Jung and synchronicities, and everything is connected. He thought acausal, but no, definitely causal. Yeah. So, you know, Michael and I were talking the other day, and we're talking about some recent contract jobs I've had at different clinics, supervising people and doing some therapy and coaching and whatnot. And I did a rundown of the last 5 places I've been with over time. And chronologically, there was a sign, a message letting me know before the end of each job, And see, this is the deal. The signs are 24/7, and they're for all of us. Every human on the planet has signs while you're awake and intuitions, and then dreams while you're sleeping. And this is a full-blown guidance system. A, you have to be aware of it, and B, you have to learn how to use it. It's like learning a new language, which takes a minute. But so the first thing is the awareness, which of course just start hewing, and you're gonna start waking up and notice things rapidly. Again, the hue, hue. That's all you need to start to do to wake up. But back to the signs. So we're talking about this, and I'm going back. And so that's what we're going to share with you today. These 5 crazy stories all about me with my recent contract jobs. Okay, so here we go. So this was the very first one, right? And the first job, and we're not going to say the names of these places. But anyway, the first place was Michigan, ... Okay. And I'm going there for onboarding the very first day, and I'm taking Michael with me. I wake up that morning, the appointment's at like 10 o'clock. I wake up that morning with a dream. And in the dream, it was someone we knew from 25 years ago, a Hollywood publicist that wanted to be our publicist when we lived back in Hollywood Hills. This guy was a nightmare, okay? And he was also a cocaine addict, all right? And that was all revealed to us back then. But so when I think of this guy, I think of cocaine, addiction, whatnot. So I wake up that morning, and he's in my dream. This publicist is in my dream. And I'm like, holy shit, that's not a good sign. And so I log the data, and I, get physically and in my mind, and I tell Michael, and I'm like, okay, let's go check this job out, because everything, all your signs and dreams are related to now, right now, what's going on in your life. So I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on here. So we drive to this job so I can go to the onboarding. And, a company, a business, a building has a directory. So on the directory, that same publicist's name is on this directory in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, at this office building.
What a coincidence.
No, you talk about totally, at that point now, I'm really freaked out.
God.
I am like on high alert, and I know it's going to be bad. So, but I go forward, I'm like, well, let's just see what's up. Plus, I like to track the data. So I like to see the outcomes regardless. Okay. So we go in, and sure enough, this guy, he was very pleasant. The place was lovely. He was so speeded out. He must have been on Adderall. He was added out big time. He was running around the place. Again, pleasant and lovely, but speeded out big time. So I'm like, well, I'm not even coming to the office. It's all virtual. So we do the paperwork, say, okay, great. We'll start, shortly, and and goodbye. And so we leave, and I'm like, holy shit. And what happens with that job? The job never kicks off. Me and my caseload, my client roster, we are waiting 2 months for this job to actually take off, and billing and whatnot, because there's a process. Well, they were so messed up at this facility, nothing ever panned out. The whole thing was a bust. So now we go to the next place. But back up, I was warned. I was warned with the dream. I was warned with a sign. Now we go to the next place, and I start, and I'm there a year, and it's cool. But then what happens? I take on a new client, and I'm adding their name in the system. And, the end date in software system, always it's blank, because you don't know if someone's going to be in therapy for, 2 years or 5 years or 1 month. So the end date is always blank. Well, all of a sudden, as I'm entering his info, the end date populates. And it would not remove itself. The end date was 1 month away. Mm-hmm. It was 1 month away, and he's just starting this day.
That's a sign. I mean, that's a sign.
Huge sign. Well, anyway, sure enough, 1 month, the whole thing went bust. It was a big blow up with billing, with money. It was crazy, crazy chaos. But once again, I got the sign. I got the message. I knew it was ending. So I was not blindsided. Now we're going to move on to the next job. This job, they send me the contract in the email. And so I could sign it. And I noticed the date on the contract, it should be for 1 year. The end date on this contract was in 2 months. 2 months. And I went, uh-oh. Now it's a typo, right? Yes, it's a typo, but it's a sign. It was a message. Mm-hmm. This job's going to be over pretty damn quick. And sure enough, in 2 months, the whole thing blew up. That job was over. Their doctor quit, and they had billing issues, and poof. Okay, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3 jobs now, right? Now the 4th job, here we go. We start, everything's cool, but on that day that I onboarded, I'm driving down the street, and I notice a building, a company, and their sign for their company is on the ground. It's on the ground, the sign. But the name of the business was the same name as this company I just started with. And I went, oh, here we go again. It was this job's going to be short-lived. That's why, you know, the sign on the ground was telling us like there's problems with that company, i.e. same name. So there's going to be problems with this company. It's going to be short-lived. And so that company, that lasted, it was 3 or 4 months, and poof, it went bust. So that's job number 4, right? So I get something in the mail, I don't know, a couple months ago. Please come contract over here with us, and we'll be the best place ever and handle your billing and this and that. And the name on the letter, okay, my actual full maiden name is Nicole Kathleen Harris. Right? That's my name. It's Dr. Nic Sebastian, right? Michael, married. Okay. The name on the letter, like if this invite was my name, my original name, it was Kathleen Harris, the person who sent me the letter. I'm like, well, holy shit. Well, that's a huge omen for this job. So I'm like, well, let's check it out for the hell of it, because once again, I like to track data. That's how we've compiled 30 years of this data, by going down the road and seeing how things turn out. So I call, it's like, oh, yes, and we're a new place, and we really would just love to have you, and bring your clients over here. And I say to Michael, you know, the name's on there, Kathleen Harris, that's a good sign, but I notice the first name, my name is not there. Nicole is nowhere on that, on the letter. So I said, let's see how this goes. This is going to go one of two ways. Either it's a green light, Kathleen Harris, or it's missing my first name. Yeah. Sure enough, after that, the phone call and the onboarding, we were going to set up onboarding. And so I was waiting to hear back on the date for onboarding. And, and she calls me and says, oh, we've decided we're not going to have any contract counselors because it's a new company. And so the message was, hence Nicole was missing from the letter. Yep. It was showing me almost, but nope, there's no Nicole in this picture, in the scene. Nicole is not in the scene. So that's 5 jobs in a row, 5 contracts in a row where the sign was right there about the outcome, what was coming around the corner. And so it's a good thing I wasn't blindsided. I was prepared.
That's beautiful. Great stories in terms of we're shown literally what's coming around the corner. That's what a sign is. It's showing us. Who doesn't want to see the future? Everybody goes, well, just pay attention. It's already there. It's part of the fabric. And that's what I had mentioned earlier. It's, you know, how does this happen? Like, how do signs, it seems like magic. Well, not really. It's a whole. We see things as parts. Everything's disconnected. That's out there, and that's a couch, and that's a cat, and they're not connected. Yeah, they are. Everything is a hologram at the subatomic particle level, at the quantum physics level. It's all connected. It's like a quilt or a blanket. And when we step back and see it as a whole and relax and breathe, pay attention, suddenly we see the signs everywhere. They're part of us. They're part of our consciousness. It's all connected. It's really that simple and that easy. And that's the flow. As we get into the flow, we'll be able to see around the corner. We'll be able to get the message, you know, I'm not going to be on board. Maybe we get the message that, you know, I need to go over there because I'm going to win $1 million. I mean, some signs are so positive, but we need to pay attention. So we get the divine guidance. That's what signs are, divine guidance to take us in the right direction or to sidestep adversity so we don't get blindsided.
Yeah. And let me give you the key before we close on how do you know if it's a sign with a message or not? Okay, because otherwise you could be going crazy looking for signs all day long. No. It's real simple. It's real clear. If it's a coincidence, then yes, there's a message. Okay, any coincidence, there's a message. And or if it's so bizarre and it catches your attention, that is how you know there's a message attached. Coincidence or a bizarre event catches your attention because it did, there's a message. And it's always about now. What's going on in my life now? What was I wondering about? What was I thinking about? What was on my mind? And you gather that data and you put it together, and then you've got your message with divine guidance for your, your best life, your movement forward.
Yep. And like Nic says, if you doubt this, if or you don't doubt it, try it for a day or two or a week. Just write down in a journal what you've seen, the sign, and then see what comes to you. And you'll go, oh my God, they were connected. That was a message. That was a direction. And you'll go, then you'll have the breakthrough. Then you'll know Before that, you're kind of guessing, and maybe you doubt it, maybe you don't. But collect the data, take a look at it, and you'll see that it's definitely a sign for divine guidance and leading you down a new road, a new path.
Hey, right on. Remember to hew for your awareness, coincidence, or a bizarre event. There is a message for you, and that's how you can figure it out. And send us your stories, and send us your emails, and send us your questions. No, because hey, it's all about divine guidance 24/7. So hey, guys.
Hey, Professor Mike signing off. No pun intended.
Alrighty, talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.